that. How's that? All right. So let's try this again. Take two. Welcome to the set, everyone. Welcome to 2026 here at the Glorious Geeks. Uh, Welcome to our gadget grotto where did some upgrades over the course of since the last episode and today. So starting out the new year with a bang. So this year, I kind of want to implement something that's kind of neat that I was thinking about. We've got a couple of different, excuse me, still getting over cold. Couple of different printer areas here that we're working on as backdrops for recording. So on Wednesday nights, am gonna do these live streams still for Print Pretzels. We're gonna do some maker stuff. We're gonna assemble some fidgets tonight, and also I'm gonna show you some things that something I'm gonna do for the studio here for thematic purposes. But I'll also let you get to see where it's coming from. But as part of the audience for these live streams, if you have a recommendation or something that you would like to see in the studio as part of the decor, you can always drop it in the chat, uh, and we'll look in to see if we can implement it somewhere. So our pretzels of choice this week are Snyder's of Hanover, the pretzel pieces, cheddar cheese. So we'll get some of these unbagged here while we're waiting for some of our friends to show up on the live stream. So welcome to 2026, guys. As you can see, we've got some new things going on here. You'll see some of the cables and stuff right now. It's kind of is what it is. We're in the middle of rerunning wires, getting different things set up. Those that have attended the live streams in the past, you'll notice that once again, we have the AMS units up on the wall. They're anchored into the wall this time. I still haven't gotten my 3D loop yet, so that's still out there in the wings. Still haven't gotten our Snapmaker U1 yet. Ironically, we've got the build plate from BQ for it, so it's here, but the printer's not. So it's supposed to be here from the 9th to the 15th, so probably next week. So that's what we're doing. But we got our ice water here. Tonight's flavor is coconut pineapple. It's actually really good. Kind of tastes like pina colada. So we got a Temu filament test print to talk about. Uh, One of our subscribers asked us a question of, is Temu filament worth it? And last week I was like, yeah, I have some. And I went to print with it, and it terrified me the way it came out because it came out and extruded really, it expanded really quickly, unlike other filament that I've seen. So finally got over that, and it actually printed. I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll go over that in a little bit in the live stream. So as you can see in the studio here behind me, we have kind of incorporated some branding. We're calling our studio the Gadget Grotto, and there's different locations we're going to have in the Gadget Grotto we'll film from, or uh, we'll building sets for. So behind me, as you can see, and above me, you can see we're in the Bambu Sanctum. There. So this is going to be where our Bambu printers are going to be held at. Uh, Housed at, however you want to call it. But we've got our A1 Mini, our A1, and our 3P1Ss, and room for more if we get to that. But this side of the studio, we're going to deck out with Bambu theme stuff. Bamboo shoots, Bamboo dragons, cherry blossom dragons, um, cherry blossom trees if we can find those. I mean, all sorts of different stuff. This is a Bambu Sanctum. So in tonight's episode, we're going to assemble some fidgets and just talk some shop. These fidgets are the farm fidgets and some fruit fidgets from 3DP Mom. I was going through Maker World the other day, and I'm like, I need some good fidgets for our arts and crafts fairs. So I signed up for her maker, or her commercial license, and these things are pretty cool. So we'll start with the corn on the cob one. We're gonna assemble here. What's nice about these is they're very minimal, like multicolor prints. They print in pieces, except for the carrots. The carrots are multicolor, and it's just one color swap, so it doesn't waste a lot of filament. So that's nice. How we assemble these is on the inside of the pieces, there's a number pieces, and they're numbered from 1 to 7 for at least the corn. I assembled some earlier just to make sure I knew how to do it. So we'll assemble number 1. And sometimes tolerances are pretty tight, which is good. You don't need any glue. I mean, you can glue the husk onto it, but this. So that's number 1. We got to find a 2. There's a 2. So they go onto the little shaft here that you print with it, and it's just a fidget spinner. It's really cool. I'm really thirsty today. Hanging out in the glorious grotto. And we got to find piece number 3. Ironically, it was right in front of me. Slide that onto there. Spin it around. Make sure it goes good. That's number 5. We got to find a 4. There's a 4, I think. Yep. And then the 5. Need to find a 6. It's another 5. I should have separated these out by number before I did this. There's a 6. And then numbers go up. And then finally, 7 is the bottom piece for the corn fidget. So they snap together like that, and away we go. And you can take the little grass piece, set them right into it. And it still functions as a fidget. Take them out, and they're all set. Colin, welcome to the chat. Have I seen the Creality version of the Bambu A1? Yes, I have seen it. I was actually talking about it last week that I saw that printer come out. And they're claiming, I don't know how accurate it is, I don't have one, that it wastes like 60% less filament because the cutter is that much closer to the nozzle. Hi, Dante. So, I saw that the price point is pretty cheap. Yeah, that's not yours, buddy. I think it was like $267. So that's good. I saw it also can come with an AMS unit. Also good. But I feel as if Creality is a little late to the game. David Walton, welcome to the chat. You're not too late. I mean, I just assembled the very first one, and we'll get back to it here in a second. But we're assembling Food Fidgets tonight for our arts and crafts fair stuff coming up later this year. And apparently Dante wants to go through a romp through the farm fields. But we're also going to be printing some Bambu on our Bambu printers. And I am introducing everyone to the new studio setup for 2026. And as it's going to be an evolving thing, as the audience members are going to be able to offer some input on what we can put in some decor in here, 3D print preferred. And with that being said, I am going to screen share here, and hopefully this works. Yeah. So what we're doing here You guys don't need to see my Maker World message or messages or meta messages. Uh, simple modular bamboo. So, Dante, are you going through the farm fields over there, buddy? Uh, I want to print these to hide the poles and put some LEDs behind them. But I want to multicolor them. So I downloaded this and I'm going to pull it up now. And I've colored it in the slicer. Actually, I might be able to just pull it up through Orca Slicer. It might be in there already. Excuse me. Recently open. Nope. Okay. No, I don't need to save that. Discard. So we're gonna download this again, and I'll go through the coloring process with you guys that I did. So we're gonna download that and then open it. Excuse me. I'm still recovering from that cold. I'm gonna get back to the chat here in a second. But my idea here is to cover up these poles in the back. Um, my Snapmaker U1 is not here yet. I really wish it was. My BQ build plate has showed up for it. Let me show you guys that while we're waiting for the slicer to open up. I'll show you the second printer area here. So this is the Bambu Sanctum that I'm in right now, but we have a second printer area that we're going to have to deck out together. Did you get you just ordered another? I know, I'm so tempted. I'll show you why here in a second, David. I showed you. I'll show you why. Uh, so we're in the Gadget Grotto, which is the entire studio here, basement studio. So we're in the Bambu Sanctum's part of it, which is all the bamboo printers that we got going on here. That's why we're going to print some bamboo, put them up here. But where our Snapmaker is going to go is over in Alpha Centauri. Let me swap it on over there so you guys can see. There it is, the Alpha Centauri area. That's Riley's favorite printer right there. He loves to sit on that printer, and it's warm, and he can look out the window. That's right next to it. So he's made his new home over there. There's some shelves that we still got to put in down there, so don't mind the mess, guys. Let me walk over there, and I won't be able to see your chat until I can get over to that tablet that's over there. But so let me get this tablet over here. And get into the YouTube live stream. So I'm gonna watch the chat. So this is where sorry, I forgot where I put the camera. This is where Snapmaker is gonna go. Our Centauri carpets are here. Our Frozen Arc was down here. It is waiting to get some maintenance done by Frozen. I still can't get my firmware updated yet. I don't know what's going on with that. They even sent me like a high uh, intensity firmware, and it still didn't work. So they're gonna have to have somebody probably remotely enter into the printer and update the firmware manually. But anyways, so no Snapmaker yet. I got the notification that it shipped, so that's exciting. But we got the BQ build plate from, well, BQ for the cryo grip. So that's super exciting. It's here at this home. So, but we did some renovations. So I'm gonna head back on over to the Bambu Sanctum and talk to you guys a little bit more about that. Hey, David, sprinkle the build plate with some filament and the printer will grow right before your eyes. I really wish that would be so true right now. So I like the filament storage at the Bambu Sanctum. Thank you so much. That was a lot of work. We did the same thing above Alpha Centauri. I think for Alpha Centauri, I've seen on Maker World, excuse me, I'm still getting over that cold. I've seen on Maker World where you can print the Iron Man arc reactor. I think I want to put a couple of those out there on those poles, just because it'd be kind of cool. So let me screen share with you guys again and talk about this Bambu and why the Snapmakers makes such a big difference. So let's go into our slicer here, an orca slicer. So it won't make as much difference with a multicolored print like this. Let me add some filament here. We gotta add two colors. I'm going to use Sunlu PLA and Sunlu PLA, Silk PLA. Oh, I need to do this in Bambu Studio eventually though. So, and this color is going to be gold. I have yellow, but it's silk gold. So we're going to go over to this build plate. And I lied. I need to do three colors because the leaves will be a different color. I don't have my mouse tonight, so bear with me, guys. I gotta use the touchpad. Why is it not letting me click and drag to the... There we go. Sorry about that. It's a little rough for you guys. All right, so this file right here, it's modular Bambu. You can't see me right now because you're on screen share. They snap together. And let me add that third filament. This is going to be green, and I got to change that other green to a brighter green. So right now we're on the P1S, right? If we color this thing like so, we're going to color this part. I need the bucket. Edge detection, that's great. We're going to color this part right here. Okay, no big deal. That'd be one color swap. But now I want the leaves to be this color. All right, I got to color this other one. You guys are going to see, and it's, for me, it just was absolutely astonishing. And I'll get to the chat here in a second, guys, to see where your responses are. So for the Bambu P1S, for this one stock, let's see how long it takes to print. 10 hours, 29 minutes for whopping 148 grams of filament. That's insane. I would never print this. Now let's go over to the snap maker, who I have programmed in here somewhere. Or I did. Did I not save it? Oops, not the Centauri carbon. I don't need that. I'll have to add the snap maker again. So we're gonna have to add the printer, which you guys get the little course on that. So you go to the little slider icons up there at the top. I'm gonna check the chat here real quick, guys. Yes, yes, I do have a ton of empty spools down there. I'm gonna take you off screen share for just a second, guys, just so I can catch up on the chat. Yeah, over there in Office Centauri you're talking about? Yeah, that's not even half. That's about half of what I have. I have other ones in totes. I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to get rid of them because they're Bambu-shaped spools. But all these other ones are also Bambu-shaped spools. They might go to the recycling center. I don't know. Let me see if that slicer is going yet. All right, back to screen share, guys. So we're gonna go down to the snap maker. Oh, right here. We're gonna add him in. Now, we're going to take that same print. Remember, it was 10 hours for us to print that on the SnapMaker U1. Why are these all funny like that? It's weird. Or on the P1S. So we're going to do the same thing. I gotta go over here to the filaments again. Okay, this is gonna be Sunlu PLA, Sunlu PLA, Silk PLA, and this one will also be Sunlu PLA. Change this to the light green. Change this to the yellow silk, and change this to the dark green for the leaves. Now, there's 100 and some odd, 100, almost 150 grams of filament for that. P1S. We got to color the leaves again because it didn't stay on there. Don't mind me. We're just turning our bamboo upside down. All right. So we go back out. Okay, it's colored, right? Slice. Look at that. Instead of 10 hours and 40 minutes or whatever it was, it's 1 hour and 30 minutes. And instead of 150 grams of filament, it's 21. That's absurd. Oh, actually, it'll be less than that because this does not need supports. Let me change that. I was wrong. This does not need supports. We're going to take that off of there. And reslice it. Without the supports, we're looking at 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 17 grams of filament. I'm going to take this off screen here. Look at me. That's absurd. That's absurd. That's why I'm having a hard time not ordering another Snapmaker U1. I can't justify it. I can justify it. That's the thing. Um, Riley, Elgin, how's it going? Welcome to the Gadget Grotto and our live stream. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Well, we just went over why the Snapmaker U1 is such an awesome printer. We haven't got ours yet, but uh, we're excited to get it. We got our build plate for it from BQ, but we'll get it. So let's get into Bambu Studio here. One thing that is annoying about Bambu Studio and the Bambu Handy app is that there is no regular PLA option for Sunlu. Actually, I'll go over through it with you. So if I have to use, excuse me, regular PLA by Sunlu, I just use the PLA Plus profile, and it seems to work out just fine for me. I already downloaded this file, so I'm going to pull it up in Studio. Get you guys back on screen share so you can see what I'm doing. So we're back on screen share. So, well, I thought I had it in Studio. Oh, it should be under recently opened. Should be. We're not. We can open project. We're going to go to, I want to say here, and then it's here, here, and then I think I put it under useful stuff. Useful stuff. There you go. This is the pre-painted one I already did. Yep, okay. That's fine. And that's fine too. As you guys can see, I print a lot of different things. Oh, hey, what just happened? That's not nice, Studio. Open with Studio. So, as you guys get an extended look at my desktop and how dirty it is, 2026 is a good time to clean up your desktop. Maybe I'll do that later. Uh, let's see here. Okay, that was the error we got before. I don't need to see this. That's fine. And for whatever reason, it crashed right after this. Okay. So we're going to go back to the original file. I'll have to open it and color it again with Studio. That's fine. While we wait for that to load. Let's check out Riley over here snoozing on his printer. Colin, if you can see on the side of the Centauri carbon that is Riley is sleeping on, that spool is a spool of filament from Temu. It is PETG by Vent is what I think it's called. Uh, to answer your question from last week, we test printed it, and it printed out great. I'm gonna switch over here to Bambu Sanctum, and I'll show you. Riley Alchin, do you know the app to make whatever you want? It's called Bambu Handy. I, if you go to the Bambu Studio or Bambu website, I will show you here. Let's see if I can get you a link to that. Bambu Handy app. Get you that dropped in the chat. I gotta go to. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't do it in Streamlabs, so I'm gonna have to go to YouTube and get to our live stream here. We're live. All right. Got you that in there. So, are we still on screen share? No, we're not. Okay. So, can I use it on the Neptune 4? Will that work? That really depends. Um, I have never used Bambu Handy yet for my printers, for like the Centauri Carbons. Um, let's find out. We're about to go into studio. We'll do it together. So this is Bambu Studio. Let's see if we can add a printer. Create printer. Let me make sure I'm on screen share. I'm not on screen share. All right, so we're in the Bambu Handy app. This is Bambu Studio. You want to download Bambu Studio. Um, if you're trying to do it on a phone, I don't think that would work for a phone. Bambu Handy is specifically for the Bambu printers, as far as I am aware of. If you download Bambu Studio, you should be able to. I'm going to try to see if we can do it now. So we're going to go to printers here and create printer. Select vendor. And there should be somewhere in this giant for some reason Elugu does not show up here. So I'm gonna say more than likely not. However, the other application you saw me using, which is Orca Slicer, will work for almost every single printer except for a Bambu printer because they have locked theirs down. Uh, so let me get back to the chat here. See if I can't check out the yeah, so you're gonna have a little bit of a difficult time if you're trying to use Bambu Studio for any Elegoo products. It looks like it's not listed in there. You probably can manually program it, but it's a little bit more in depth than I am currently have knowledge for. But Orca Slicer is going to be your best bet for the Neptune 4 Pro. I have a Neptune 4 Pro, and that's what I use to program uh, my Neptune 4 Pro and my Elegoo Centauri Carbons. You use it already? All right, awesome. Are you looking to see, were you trying to see if you could just use the Handy app so that we have it all under one roof? I have the same issue. I got 4 different printers over in Alpha Centauri over here. Well, I got those 3 printers right there, which are all Centauri Carbons, and then there's one you could just barely see the right side of it, or left side of it, down there. That's the Frozen Arco. All 4 of those printers I have to use Orca Slicer for, and also when the new one gets here, where that build plate's just sitting right there, all lonely and with no printer attached to it. And then I have to use Bambu Studio if I want to use any of my Bambu products. So that is where we're at in the world with 3D printing, and it's kind of rough, but we're going to get back to our Bambu tutorial here. So I'm going to print these pieces here in Bambu Studio because it's one technically 2 color changes that we're going to be doing. So we're going to add this. We're going to do, excuse me, Sunlu PLA for the green. And it's technically not Sunlu PLA, but I've used this profile for this filament, and I'll tell you what it is here in a second. And it works just fine. Same thing with Sunlu Silk PLA Plus. Uh, Technically, the filament I'm using is not Sunlu Silk PLA Plus, but I've used this profile with this filament before, and it turns out flawless. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to color that little nodule for the Bambu. Click on our model. We're going to grab our paint bucket. We're going to use edge detection because we connected same color. It's going to color the entire model because it's all green right now. So we're going to click this right here. And there we go. We've colored our nodule for our Bambu. Let's see how long this takes to print. It shouldn't. Oh, we got to move our prime tower here. It's off the build plate for whatever reason. I'm going to put this over near the purge chute, which is over here on the left. So we're going to slice our model, and let's see how long this takes. All right, so it takes 1 hour and 41 minutes. So I am going to go back to prepare, and I'm going to print 4 of these. 5 of these technically. And let's see how much it increases the print time. Okay, it doubled the print time. But it gives us 5 Bambu shoots, and I'm going to print them on multiple printers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off a screen share for a second here so I can show you guys what filament I'm going to use as I grab some more cheesy pretzels. Hi, Keila. So first off, a couple of weeks ago, Colin, I was talking to you about Tico Sonar. Yeah, Tech Sonar 3D filament. This is their, what they call PLA matte rainbow. Not sure why they call it rainbow, because it's just green gradient, but it is what it is. This works great with the Sunlu PLA Plus profile. I have some of this loaded up in one of these printers. And then for the yellow part that we're going to do in the Bambu, I'm going to do it in the silk gold color from Elegoo. This is one of the few Elegoo filaments that I will use because it is on a plastic roll. I have some Elegoo filament that's still on the cardboard roll, and it just doesn't handle the AMS as much as well as I would like it to. So we're going to open these up. This gold filament is just really pretty. Excuse me. And when we get the Snapmaker U1, we're going to print those other pieces with the leaves on it on the Snapmaker U1, along with a Bambu Dragon by Cinderwing, as big as the build plate can offer. So stay tuned to that. When we get our U1, that's the first print I'm going to do. And the second print I'm going to do on that is going to be the Cherry Blossom Dragon, because I want to use it as decor in the studio here. Am I Australian? I am not Australian. I am American. I live here in Ludington, Michigan. I wish I was Australian because they have some cool accents. What's Hugh Jackman? Hugh Jackman has got a cool accent. I like him a lot. So I should put a trash can down here. Maybe I can 3D print a trash can. So those are all opened up. What do I plan to use the gold PLA for? So let me go back to the screen share and I'll show you. So the gold PLA is going to be the nodules on these Bambu. I gotta click screen share. That would help. So back in our studio app here, the nodules on the Bambu pipes, that's what it's going to be. The silk PLA gold. It's going to be like Lucky Bamboo. And we're going to put those, let me go back here to the Bambu Sanctum. I'm going to take those. It's going to be a lot of them, but thankfully, with the Snapmaker U1, we're not going to have a ton of filament waste. So I can do this with probably 2 rolls of filament. Well, 4 rolls of filament. We're going to put those Bambu shoots up here just to make it more bamboo. But let's get this opened up here. Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but there's some other stream overlays that we've got. If you joined us on the live stream um, before it actually started, and when it says stream starting soon, I can show you that guys that real quick. So we went in and I went in and really did some heavy lifting in Streamlabs OBS here, and it's really looking good. So let me get back to here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I was learning over the last week or so. That one's open. We gotta open this last one. Excuse me. And if you notice behind me, if you have attended our live streams in the past before, you got to witness a calamity happen. One of our AMS units fell off the wall when we were testing out these brackets. We have not gotten our 3D gloop yet. That is still on its way to us in the mail. It said it's shipped. I think it's supposed to be here Saturday. But I went ahead and, excuse me, you can't see it on screen, but there's a 2x4 that runs back behind here. Right at that level, I just screwed them right into the 2x4, so they should hold no problem. I may go back in and put some of that 3D gloop with the SCOTUS pieces in there too, just for the extra security, but I don't think that 2x4 is going anywhere. Okay, so this is the hardest part about this tech sonar filament. They really get that filament piece in here. I need my scissors. And as you've noticed, those of you that have joined the live stream in the past, I told you once we move those AMS units off that printer, our little Dante friend here is going to make his home on one of them, and he is loving that one. So I've got the first AMS loaded up here, an AMS 2 Pro. Here's a Silk PLA Gold. Here is the Tico Sonar, some of the leftover. I got about half a roll on this one. And it's a gradient color. So it's not just a straight green. It's going to have that color shift, which is going to look really cool. Just checking the chat there for a second, guys. Now, something I want to let you guys know, if you're going to do this kind of setup for these AMS units, if you have the Sunlu AMS heater, oof, watch your fingers. There's a tool I saw out there somewhere on MakerWorld that I'm going to print to like prop it up like a car hood. I'll get that probably next week or a week after. But this will slam down on your fingers, and it's not fun. It's happened to me once or twice. So we're going to roll these out of here. Since these just came out of the packages, we're not going to have to dry them, thankfully. So we don't need to use those. As I'm thinking about the drying, if you're going to have a setup like this, you need to plan for power outages. And I would recommend having your printers on a dedicated line to a power station. Don't put everything on the dedicated line to the power station, just the printers. So if the power goes out, everything on here will stop except for the printers. All right, let's get this loaded up. I use the Anker Solix power station, the C1000. We did a review video a while back on that. It works out great. It'll power, I think, all 5 of these printers for like 7 hours. All the printers we had in the studio would power for 3. All right. So first, gold loaded up. Well, second gold loaded up. If you are going to do this setup, you're going to notice that there's going to be a little bit more wear on your rollers because the spool has got more gravity causing more friction on it, which is good because it helps with the error codes. The more the rollers can grip the spools, the better it is. I've actually had less error codes with this than my other setups. I just did a boo-boo. I'll tell you what in a second. I forgot that printer was still going. So that printer is printing a carrot right now, and I just pulled the filament out of it, so I got to replace the filaments again. And then resume. There's a blooper reel for you. I meant to put that in the second AMS down there. It's fixable. So, get our TO sonar filament here. I hope everyone had a good New Year's. We did here. And once we get this loaded up and these started printing, we can get back to putting our fidgets together. All right, so we're gonna set these over here. We'll put those in our filament loading area later. Okay, so let me fix this problem I caused. So the first one was the green one. Second one was that one. Third one was this one. Let's get this started again. And then put this in here like I wanted to do originally. Take these out of here. I've just been drying these filaments that are left over. If you do a lot of printing, you're going to wind up having a lot of filament that's just like left over. There's 20 or 30 grams of filament on the roll. The nice thing about AMS units is you can program to say, hey, this is all PLA plus red color, and it's not really. And then it'll just eat through it all. I'm printing a bunch of fidgets just with random colors. Let's not get these in my pretzels. I wish there was a way to dry cardboard spools in traditional filament dryers. We'll have to watch that video. I need a power station before spring comes and the storms with it. Oh yeah. So David, with that power station video, that's the C1000 Gen 1 with the BP 1000 expansion battery. I think it's on sale from Anchor right now. Uh, I have an affiliate code with them, but I don't know if I put the link in there or not. But um, it's great and it's affordable. I got it when it was $1,000 plus, I think, but now I think it's dropped down to like 600 because they had the Generation 2 come out. But the Generation 2 doesn't have the expansion battery, so I like that unit a lot. Um, Come summertime, I may have to get another unit because of the peak outages, or not peak outages, the peak power hours. Um, and I'll probably do a video on that on how to set up your printer farm to operate during peak hours on your power station that has been charged off peak hours. Because your power bill will go up with those peak hours if you're running more than 2 printers. Oops, not what I wanted to do. The green goes second. So even though there was user error for this carrot, we put the filaments back in where they're supposed to go. It detected that the filament ran out, paused. I put the filaments back in, resumed, no issues. That's why I love Bambu printers so much. If I did this on any other printer, I probably would have failed my own print. Very, very user-friendly. Error user-friendly. As far as those cardboard spools, um, that's hard. That's why I don't like cardboard spools that much, Colin. That's why I'm trying to phase out my Elegoo rolls because once that cardboard gets wet, it really just, I mean, it bends, it warps, and then it causes problems in your AMS unit. Um, I will get the Elegoo refills because they work on the spools. I learned that recently, so I'll probably redo that some new video, spool video at some point because I did notice on there, and some other people have pointed out that I might have used Sunlu on Sunlu by accident, but they all do work. All right, so we got our filament in this one and that one. So we're gonna close this up. Sorry, Dante. We're gonna close this up, close it up, and we're gonna go back to our slicer here. So I'll screen share, and we're gonna go. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Uh, back into our slicer. We're already sliced. So this printer is square box 1. This printer is square box 3. Or no, 1, 2, 3. 1 and 3. If you guys have any better ideas and or names for those conventions to be more thematically in line with Bambu Sanctum, I'm all ears. I got to program those filaments before I forget. So we got to go into device and wait for it to load because it takes a while. There it goes. And then square box 1, the filament that we just put in there, is going to be some new silk PLA gold. And then after it loads a little while, then we're going to go into here, and this we already got Sunlu PLA Plus plugin in there, but we're going to change it to the green color. Even though it's not Sunlu PLA Plus, I printed with this profile with the Tech Sonar filament, and it works perfectly. So that one's programmed. Now we got to go to square box 3. All right. Why should be boom boom? Why is my AMS unit not saying that it's in there? Oh, I got a red light on here. It's not liking that. All right, so you can't see it on camera because I know I left it on screen share, but it's not liking the filament that I put in there. So I'm gonna switch it to AMS slot 4, that green color. And I know you're on screen share, so what I just did, and you saw it on the screen happen. So this is gonna be the silk PLA. That gold color. And then we'll wait for that to load. I think the Hall sensor is going bad in AMS A2 here. I have a replacement, I just haven't got around to it yet. So we're gonna use, I put it in here. So we're gonna go to, oops, nope, not TPU. We want some new PLA plus, and we want it to be the green color. All right. So now that we have the filaments program, we're gonna go into, as soon as it responds, we're gonna go back to preview with our 4 little Bambu shoots here. And we're going to click print plate. First, we're going to send it to 60 grams of filament for those 5 shoots. I love that. Square box. No, we're going to take A4 and A1. You always got to check it. Just don't click print, assuming that the color assignments are correct. So we'll click send for that one. That one will send to square box 3. It takes a minute. I'm going to put you guys back on off of screen share now because, oops, there's Riley snoozing away. Take you guys off screen share since you don't have to wait for this to load. And we'll get it sent over to square box 1 as well. And that is the start of our Bambu shoots. We're going to put those, like I said, on these pipes, specifically in the back too, with LEDs behind them, just to give them that little glow effect and just to look cool thematically for screen purposes for the set. Let me go back to Streamlabs here. So back to what we were doing before we started printing our Bambu. David Walton they all just need to go to the Universal Master Spool and use refills. I agree. I I agree 100%. If all the filament companies use the same refills, they'd get more business. Like I I would order Elegoo more because they have some colors that Bambu doesn't have. I would order Sunlu more, probably more than I already do, because that would cause them to expand their color scheme, and it's just already really good. They have some cool Galaxy ones I just got that I'm eager to try out. But I agree, it would just give them more business. So, but back to our fidgets, our little fidget spinner corns here. So that's how you I'll assemble another corn so you guys can see. This is by 3DP Mom. You can find that on find her profile on Maker World. So the key to assembling these are you need to find first the little thing here, cylinder, and then the number one piece is the top of the corn piece. They are labeled on the underside, number one. So we put that on there, and I usually press them into the table, and you'll hear them snap. I don't know if you can hear it on screen or not. And then we find the number two piece you got right here. Then number three, all the way to number seven. And you can usually guesstimate which piece is which because the sizes are slightly bigger. Yep, number three. And then you need a four. That's a six. A four. And a five, which is a slightly bigger one. I think this is a five. Yep. This is a six. I think I did that backwards. Yeah, I did this one backwards. And it's a six too. So we need a four. So if you have teachers at home, or if you know teachers, these would be super helpful for them because I'm going to assemble a couple of these and then assemble the rest of them off camera. But these are like little farm trays. They're kind of cool. As soon as I find this other four, I'll show you guys and get this one assembled. Drop it in the chat if you guys know any other good fidgets to print. Here's number four. Then we have a five. Then we have a six. And then seven is the bottom piece, which is right here. And then it snaps together. I use the table to really snap them in there. You can glue the bottom piece on there because it doesn't rotate. It stays on the shaft just like the top piece, but you don't have to. Then it snaps in there, and you have a little fidget corn that kids can sit there and fidget with. So the next one that we have to have fun with is the broccoli. We got broccoli top and the broccoli spring. So this one's a really easy assembly. There's not 7 parts to do. You just take the top, take the spring part, and it snaps in there together. And this little guy is a little spring fidget. It sits there and sit there and be pretty bouncy. This is printed out of PLA. Both of these are Sunlu colors. This is their, I don't remember exactly what kind of green, but there's a dark green and then there's the lighter color green. But there's the broccoli. And then next we have the radish. This is also simple, easy fidget to do. So this one's in 3 parts. You got the radish top, the radish bottom, and then there's this tiny little shaft piece that you put into it. This one I will use a little bit of glue just because this isn't like a traditional fidget. Get this top off here. This is a top, so you can spin it. So the glue is just going to help with the force that you're going to put on there to spin it. And you could use 3D glue for this, but I'm going to use the tons of Gorilla Glue I have left around in the studio. Put another drop in there, and put these together. And you can, I don't use my hands because the bottom of the top is uh, sharp. I'll just push it together, and just like that, you got a radish. I got one pre-assembled over here just to show you guys. And then finally, this one doesn't take any assembly at all, is the carrot. And it comes in two sizes. It comes in with a small size and then a big size. Check the comments here. David Walton. I moved my Arco next to my K2 Plus, and even though the Arco is 300 by 300 by 300 and the Plus is 350 by 350 by 350, the Arco with the Pentashield is like 2 inches taller. I know the. Yeah. I'm curious if I can ever get enough funds to get the H2C uh, to see like what the size comparison is between the two. Because the Arco, I actually, where it's sitting at now, I actually lowered the shelf down quite a bit because of the chroma kit that comes on top of it. Someday I'll be able to use that printer once I get the updated firmware. But back to the carrots. So we have the tiny little carrot. It's a cute little fidget. And then you have the bigger carrot. So, and they're tied all together. 3DP Mom. You can do sets of these. You can do a 4 in a set, or she makes a garden planter set, which if you want to do 4 in a set, there. So for instance, you can do 4 of the radishes, and they spin even in their holders, but and they go into these little planter boxes. Super cute. Hey, for all of this, right? For all of this, this was like maybe 300 grams of filament for like 10 sets. So it's very cost effective, and there's not a whole lot of color swaps. So that's the radish planter box. What I'm excited about is the garden planter box that they have. That it's the insert, and you get one of each. So you get the broccoli goes in its little slot like that, bing bing bing, and then you got carrot that goes in one of these slots. That one, and then you have corn that goes into one of these slots, like that one, maybe. No, surely. Maybe it's this one. Ah, okay. Corn goes in that one. Carrot goes in. So the small carrot goes in with the set, and then finally the radish goes in there, just like that. So cute little thing you can do for, the teachers in your life, or you got kids to teach them about healthy snacks and to also be able to fidget with them. Now moving on to the other things that she has that you can do. She also has fruit. And this is kind of a cool one. It's simple. You have to assemble this one, but it's simpler than you would think. So it's a strawberry. So you've got the strawberry red top and the green leaf part print separately. I have a brim on mine, so I got to peel the brim off just to help with adhesion because there's not a whole lot of big contact surface. Then you take a little teeny tiny dab of glue for the strawberry top. And it has an inlay in there to put it on there to show where it belongs. And sits right in there. Maybe. And what's cool about this one is it's kind of like the carrot, but not. So strawberries, when you pick them, they're on the ground like this. And I should have let the glue set on this. But you pick them up, and it's just like the carrot. It's got the little fidget thing. So that's that one. And then finally, last but not least, let me move this top here. And I'll get this over here, is the pear. This functions very similar like the corn on the cob. It's got a cylinder, and then you got to find the number pieces. The first piece is the multicolor pear top. And just like this garden set, she also has a fruit stand. I didn't get a chance to print off because she's also got a pineapple fidget and a orange fidget, which is really cool. That I will get around to printing. Let's see how our printers are doing here. All right, so Square Box 1 is doing great, and Square Box 3 is not printing. Why? Oh, the spool got caught. So every once in a while, the spool doesn't want to stay on its rollers. So that's what happened there. So I'm just going to click resume. Maybe. Yep, there it goes. On its way. It just fell off the roller. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying the new studio setup. Definitely, if you guys find files out there that are Bambu themed or Alpha Centauri space station themed, let me know. You can send us a message on Maker World. We are on there, the Glorious Geeks, and you'll see on there some things that I've already found for. If you follow us on there, one of our collections is Bamboo Sanctum, and another collection is Alpha Centauri. So if you ever want to try to replicate it, it is there for you to find out. So number 3, number 4, number 5. That's another 5. That's 6. And last but not least, if I can find it, number 7. And then just like with the corn, use your weight to push it down. It'll snap together, and you've got a pair. That is a fidget spinner. Pretty cool. Throw that in the fruit stand, and away you go. So in case anybody missed it early in the live stream, I was telling Colin, I finally got up the courage to try some Temu filament. I had that roll of bent filament. It's BEHT. Uh, Over here, you can see it on the side of that Centauri carbon right there, with Riley snoozing away. It's a great blue gradient filament, but the other roll of filament that I got from them, which was the same brand, it's PETG, just a different color. When I was watching it come out of the nozzle, I've never seen filament go from the thread that comes out and expand so quickly. Uh, so it worried me a little bit. So I stopped it and moved on to a different filament. But since we were asked last week to try some of the Temu, or if we've ever tried some of the Temu filament, I got up the courage to put it on the Centauri carbon, and it turned out great. This is a fidget sword, as you can find in Maker World. It's the Celestial Sword. I can't remember who it's by right now. But I wanted to check this sword out, and the handle is printed out of PETG by the Temu filament. And this blade is from Strong Hero 3D PETG, the Rainbow Gradient. It's really cool. If you have kids that need fidget things, and it makes a very unique sound though. So that's a really cool sword that's out there in the wild. Something's going on with my printer over here. Oh, the LED wiring came loose. Tuck that back up in there. Every once in a while, the Bowden tube will catch the LED wires that I put in there for the riser. If I see it flicker like that, I know that's what happened. So, can you link any STL files? I sure can. Let me. Do you have a specific one you would like me to link? Evert 5556. Oh, that sword is so cool. Okay, let me get that sword for you. All right. So over here on Maker World, I'll share with you my screen share. Can you guys, are you on screen share? Yeah, you're on screen share now. Okay. So if you go to Fidget Sword, and I'll share the link once I get to it. Right here. Collapsing Katana. And should be a share button right here. I want to copy a link. And I gotta go to YouTube Studio. So you guys are gonna see YouTube all by itself again. Or YouTube. Because I gotta go to my Streamlabs. I can't, for some reason, I can't talk in the chat right now. So here's that link for you. Get back to Streamlabs. Alpha Centauri. Absolutely. Thanks for asking. I should have dropped it in there. I apologize for not dropping it in there. And actually, let me get you guys 3DP mom stuff. 3DP mom. So this is her profile. She's got some cool stuff. So this pie fidget is really cool. The rocket's really cool. I feel like these would be really, they're simple, not, they don't cost a lot of filament. And she has a lot more things over on the Things website. Corn fidget clickers. I mean, there's a tic-tac-toe for for Halloween. She's got some cool stuff. So let me get you guys her link in the profile. Thank you. We got 4 of the Kit Kats. Yes. uh, Riley loves the Centauri Carbon. Dante, he's not up there right now, but he loves to sit up here in this little perch on the Bambu P1S. And again, if you have animals and you are 3D printing, one, have an open space because, excuse me, fumes are a thing. Even if you're printing in PLA or PETG, which are less toxic, PLA is really not toxic because it's cornstarch based. But having the open air environment is important. And also, we also have the frozen HEPA filter coming, and we have an HVAC system here in the studio. So we have proper ventilation to take care of every member of our furry management team. Love the color selections. All right. Thank you. There's so many things to assemble. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, I was saving this one for a little bit later in the stream, and we are in the depths of the stream. If you like Pokemon and you like fidget clickers, I got a file for you. I'm gonna go back over to Maker World, and I'm gonna get you guys this file before I show it to you. I've already assembled it, and I'm gonna assemble some more here on the show. This is really cool. I love this file so much. Let me get you guys screen shared again. It is so awesome. We're gonna go back over to here, and then we're gonna go in Pokeball Fidget Clicker. And there's different profiles for the different Pokeballs too. I think it's, well, I'm just gonna search it again. Right here. This is the coolest fidget clicker I have ever seen. I'm gonna share it right now. It's by RJ Design. I think it's that button. Get you guys drop that in the chat. I'm gonna click on it here in a second. So you can do it by layer, single color plates, print by object, multicolor. They have the Great Ball, Ultra Ball. I don't see a Master Ball one yet, but I'm sure it's coming. But to have those, it's really cool. Let me get you off screen share so I can show you firsthand what it looks like, because it's freaking cool. Like, The whole thing clicks. The button clicks. The the sides click. I mean, it's just so freaking cool to play with. I, I I could mess around with it all day. But it takes a little bit of assembly, and it takes 9 fidget clickers to put together. So let's get that assembled. Since we've done all the other fidgets, let me show you what's going on with that. Make sure the printer's going. Yep, doing good. Doing good there. All right, cool. So grab a pretzel. Get this out of the way. Bring this on over here. There's 5 of them in here, so don't panic because there's not that many parts for one. It's a rather straightforward assembly, but you are going to need 9 fidget clickers. You can get a box of these. I'll link these in the description. Post content on Amazon. It's like 108 pieces of fidgets. The keyboard clickers. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't expensive. But so this is the center of it. There's 8 fidget clicker slots there, and then there was one in here. So as I'm chilling with you guys, I'm gonna pop these into place. And there's no glue required for this one. Let me put the glue top back on before I forget. These all the tolerances are so good that they just click into place. I love this file so much. And if the fidget clicker doesn't go in there, or the keyboard clicker doesn't go in there quite right, that means you got to take it back out and change its orientation. So don't force it. I need to get my needle nose pliers out here. My fingers don't have the dexterity that they used to. This is a really fun assembly project. It's really rewarding once you get to the end. Now that I say that, watch me not be able to put it together. Here it goes. Do you guys have any if you're out there in the chat family, do you have any preferred fidgets that you like to print? I actually have one over on this printer over here I want to show you that just finished. Perks of having multiple printers going at one time. Just finished printing on our A1 Mini. So the hardest part about this fidget clicker, or this fidget, is you have to get the keyboard clickers to go in straight. If they don't go in straight, they won't go in fully. There we go. That is 5 of them. That one didn't go in straight. Yeah, pull it back out. But I promise it is worth every second of the assembly time because just I don't know what's over there. It is so satisfying to just sit here and go like that. I can see kids playing with this all day long. I can also see kids throwing it and breaking it, but it's a fidget clicker. Pretending they're playing Pokemon and woohoo! There it goes. I choose you and no more Pokeball. All right, so there's that part. Just gotta get this last one slid in there. All right. So that is all 9 of the fidget clickers installed into the center, just like that. So now you take your Uh, it's actually this piece right here and this piece right here, little button piece. Slide the button through the front, and then you click this into the back. Actually, you don't have to slide it in that way. You can actually click this into the thing. It's easier that way. I forgot. I've only assembled one of these so far. You get that clicked in there first. Just like that. Slides on down there. Put this on there next. This is a tight fit. Just like that. Snaps together. Should look like that when you're done. Then you're going to take your white pieces here. Unlike me, looks like there was a little bit of stringing on that one. Must have needed to dry that filament. But there's going to be, this is the fun part. There's a short side and then there's a long side. The short side, which is going to be, it's more flat than the other side. That's going to be the part that goes towards the button. And you'll put 4 white pieces and 4 red pieces, and that's the full assembly. So we'll get this put together. This was all printed out of Sunlu PLA Plus on our Bambu P1Ss. And don't worry if you don't get the orientation right, doing the button first, you will not be able to assemble it in that manner, which is a nice concept. They snap together. So much fun. So much fun. Whoops. Unless you're klutzy like me and then wind up dropping half of them. Let's go see what's happening over there in Centauri, Alpha Centauri world. Is Riley still sleeping? He is. He loves his warm little cat bed. And our Snapmaker one is still not here yet. Dang, I was hoping if we went over there, it'd be there. It'll get here, guys, I promise. I got the notification for it. It's coming. And I promise that printer will not shut off once it gets here. I've got a laundry list of things I want to print on it because of how much filament it really saves. This is the last white one. Come on, get on there. Yeah, it's in the right thing. So the cool thing about this, not the only cool thing, but the backside, since the pieces are longer in the back, they cover up just like a Pokeball. And it just looks so cool. Come on, snap on there. Snap on there. Those of you that have gotten your snap makers, what are some of the cool things you've printed on it? And how much filament have you saved already? That's the important question. There we go. That button wants to stick. Why does that button want to stick? There it goes. Ah, for the red pieces. I want to print a Bambu dragon and not waste a ton of filament doing it. And I mean as big as the build plate can allow to put somewhere up there. And then also a cherry blossom dragon, which wastes even more filament because it's got like 4 color changes per layer. And put it up there to match our little Lego plants over there. Whoops. Uh, some of these still have their supports on them that I didn't take off. Most of the supports stick on the, if you have a cryo plate like I have, the supports wind up sticking to the plate instead of the model when you peel it off, which is nice. Only a couple of them stay on there, like this one. We'll pop that off of there. Again, no glue required for this one. Now, if you're gonna like give this to a kid and gift it to them, just let them know that there's keyboard clickers in it, and it can come apart if you are so inclined to peel it apart, but its functionality is there. It's amazing. And last but not least, the last red piece clicks into place. Oh, it's so satisfying. It kind of looks like a watermelon Pokeball too. Just epic. Shout out to the file maker for this one. That is, I can't remember, my RJ Design. Sweet, sweet, sweet Pokeball. Thanks for making this and all those other ones that are here for us to print and assemble on Prints and Pretzels. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, guys. I need to use the little men's room, and I will be right back. All right, welcome back to the live stream. So, we've made some fidget clickers. We've made some Fidget Farm friends, fruit, no, and vegetables. We're eating our pretzels. Still waiting for our U1. Trying out to move filament. All that's part of the glorious things that we do. So, some of the things that we're working on coming up here in the near future, I am currently editing the comparison video. Still have my chair back here a little bit for or not comparison video, the initial video for the IBOS Tetris system. That thing is cool. It is definitely for power users. If you want to be able to print with different materials at the same time and dry them all at once, that's going to be the unit for you. The AMS heater by Sunlu is plug and play. You unbox it, put the 4 screws, take the old lid off, put the 4 screws in for the new lid, and away you can go once you plug it in. That one is more of the new person friendly, and is ready to go right straight out of the box. You can check out our AMS Sunlu heater video in our channel. So let's continue assembling these little guys. So they're so much fun. We got tons of different fidgets here from 3DP Mom. She is awesome. Things like pie fidgets. Oh, before the break, I told you on our A1 Mini over here, which you can't quite see, we had a fidget just come off the printer. It's really cool. I'll have to look at my browse history. On Maker World. I can't remember the artist's name on this one. But so it comes off kind of rigid, right? I don't know if you can like hear it. But once you crinkle it up, it turns into like a flexy starfish. It's really, really neat. I've got another version over here that I won't have to sit here and crinkle up. Let me show you. Printed one earlier today, somewhere in one of these thousands of bins. Here we go. Actually, I printed a couple earlier today. So turns into like a floppy starfish here. Let's go see if we can find that on our browse collection. Screen share and Maker World. So go to our user profile browsing. Oops. User profile browsing history. So these are all the different things I've looked at. This light bearer system, I think is would be cool over this in the Alpha Centauri area. This is the Bamboo Dragon by Cinderwing that I'm going to print. And again, you can find these. There we go. Susie the Symmetrical Starfish by 3D Grandpa. Awesome name. This thing's really cool. Like, you, I didn't print the one with the face, but you can print it in there that has the color changes where it's got a little face in it. So that's who it is. Let me get you that share icon here, or this share link here. Dropped in the chat, so you can have that too. So there it is in the chat. Oh, I missed a chat thing. Let me get back into Streamlabs and get off screen share. David, you said, oh, one thing. I wanted to warn you when you get your U1, when removing the tape on the plastic parts, hold the plastic part down when you pull. I pulled a front plate off when removing the tape. When you mean the outside of the enclosure? The plastic enclosure outside part? If you're still in the chat? These cheese pretzels are really good. Really salty though. I'm really excited to get that U1. I don't know if we should order another one or wait for the next Bambu product to drop. The front black panel came off removing the tape. Okay. Duly noted. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I would hate to have to do that or have that happen to me too. I'm sorry that happened to you. That machine is really, really changing the market. I don't see a way for Bambu not to make some sort of machine that is in a comparable price range. And we talked about that before on our previous live stream. It just doesn't make business sense. So That's what we're hoping for. Some sort of machine from them in that price range that offers multicolor printing without the filament waste. I would love to be able to use our AMS units for a machine that doesn't waste a bunch of filament. It was insane to see that earlier in the live stream. You guys can go back and check that out when we're programming the Bambu shoots, which are right here. Uh, I just was flabbergasted by if we printed these Bambu shoots on our P1Ss with the leaves that are attached to it in the dark green color, because it adds that third color, it takes the filament from, I think it was like 20 something grams to 100 something grams of filament, and takes a 1 hour and 1.5 hour print, turns it into a 10-hour print. With the Snapmaker U1, it was still an hour something print, I think, hour and 51 minutes if I'm remembering correctly, and it was still the same 20 grams of filament because it did not have those purges. It's so awesome to see. Susie, our little flexy starfishes. So much fun. So much fun. And David Walton, the downside of the AMS is the load unload times. I noticed that the U1 starts heating up the next nozzle while the first nozzle is printing. So it literally is a swap heads and the prime tower. Man, I butchered that. Sorry. I'm eating a Starburst. Yeah, it seemed like they really engineered this to save time and filament, not just filament. The perks for Bambu right now is a lot of their community is locked in with their AMS units, so they've invested a lot of time. So I will definitely say their customer base would appreciate not just all of a sudden no more. I don't have an AMS use anymore. Um, Even though if you're printing with single color, having that automatic filament renewal was super awesome. That's how I did uh, these multicolor but not multicolor prints. Let me show you something. I got them going on right now on the A1 Mini, but this was totally by accident, and now I'm gonna have to find you guys another file because this is a twist on the traditional infinity cube. And because of the way that I loaded the AMS units, I put a bunch of my old filament in there into the new AMS heater, which uh, this filament has been out for 6 months or more, out in the wild here, and it's only been like maybe all of it was less than 60 grams on a roll, and it dried it like a champ as it was printing it, and it came out great. Before I show you, let me get you the file because it's cool and it's a neat little twist on what's out there already for the Infinity Cube. So I believe it's going to be under my profile. If you guys ever want to see, you can go to my profile and browsing history. I'm always on Maker World. I scroll more through Maker World than on Facebook, I believe. These bowls are really cool, by the way. I printed 2 of those for Abby. Uh, Somewhere around here. Yeah, oh, this one right here. I'm constantly looking at different things. This thing is cool. So, let me get you this share icon. Share, link, drop it in the chat. It is by Austin. I hopefully don't butcher his last name, Voita. Get you off screen here so I can show you the results of our. Otherwise, I would have thrown all this filament away because it was less than 30 grams. I could have connected it with the Sunlu AMS or Sunlu filament connector. It just would have taken time, and I probably would have maybe if I hadn't left it sit out for so long. But with these AMS units, putting them in there, programming them all as Sunlu, because they were all Sunlu filament. PLA red is what I did, but they were different colors. We got these. And ironically, it turned out like a cheeseburger. I did not plan that. So these little, it's hard to see with the lighting here right now, but they turned out really neat. And they're just like the traditional infinity cube, but they're a sphere. And it just turned out really great. I'm super, super happy with how it turned out. And otherwise, this filament would have just sat there because it was just between 25 and 60 grams on a roll. And what am I going to use it for? Anything that's longer than a 2-hour print's going to need more filament than that. So it cleared out my filament track a lot too, and the recycling unit or bin was very happy in full. So that's another fidget we've printed off. So you guys are getting plenty of fidget fun tonight. So crinkle our starfish a little bit more here. Ah. Oh, so you can't see on our P1S here. It's printing air. I'm guessing there's a nozzle clog, and it has not detected it. So if you had the X1 carbon or the P2S, the AI detection in it would have probably picked that up. But since the P1S does not have that, that's why it's sitting there printing. Nothing. Thankfully, it only went that high. The other one is doing great. He's doing great. 1 hour and 51 minutes to go. So just gonna go ahead and stop this one since it's just wasting time. So nozzle clocks happen, and when they do, I'm not gonna troubleshoot it on the live stream, but I'll show you what I use to get it out. I'll preheat the nozzle, and if you don't have one of these in your workshop or something of the sorts, there's different makers out there that do the same thing, but no clogger. It's the way to go. You preheat your nozzle, you take out your PTFE tube, and you literally shove this down through the gears, and it pushes 9 times out of 10. It pushes if the filament, when it goes through, it pushes your filament out, pushes out any jams. If it doesn't on your P1S, I can't speak for the A1 or A1 Mini because I've never had that issue with it. You're going to have to disassemble your extruder because what that means is a piece of filament broke off in your extruder gears and is blocking your filament path. So be mindful of that. If this tool does not work when you preheat your nozzle and you should see filament come out into the poop chute when it's back there, then that's what you're gonna have to do. You'll have to break down that, and you can figure out how to do that and how to take it apart if you watch our P1S upgrade video, where we take the P1S extruder and upgrade it to the Panda Claw extruder, which this is the only machine that we have that does not have that upgrade. And notice how that is the only machine that really clogs anymore. So back to our Pokeball fidget assembly. This is so rewarding. Actually, I don't know if I have anything coming off the carbons or not. No, not right now. Not right now. this sword came off a little bit earlier. Those things are awesome. There's another one printing right now. And if you use like gradient uh, filaments for the blade, it just turns out really cool. Like, uh, and if you do print this sword, I highly would recommend printing it in PETG because in my experience with printing this sword, because I've printed a few of them, uh, the PLA versions have a tendency to break because for whatever reason the layers on the blade don't adhere as well as PETG does. I don't know why. Maybe it's a heat thing, but I print all mine out in PETG and they are super awesome. They make good Christmas gifts and so on. And if they ever get stuck, just push it on the table. Because the blade will get stuck from time to time. Let's get this clicker going. Goes. Get it in line properly and you're good to go. So the fun part about all this is, yeah, you spend a little bit of time for assembly, but the reward is so worth it. I gotta figure out where I want to put all these Pokeballs. Some of the things that we're working on here in the studio, as you can see, we have Bambu Sanctum developing here, which every week on the live stream, I am open to suggestions on different themes, or not themes, but things that we can 3D print for the theme. Some of the things that I would love to do here on the Bambu Sanctum side is plant stuff or um, ancient ruin type stuff, things like that. I'd love to be able to put like 3D printed leaves or something up on the rafters here in the studio. Some sort of vinage up on the filament racks, things like that. And then over on the Centauri side, Alpha Centauri, I would love to uh, just deck this out with space type things. There's a couple things that I've already loaded on our maker profile on Maker World that we're looking at doing. I want to do the Iron Man arc reactor for, if you look at the Centauri carbons here, there's that pole that's right in the front of them. I'd love to put the Iron Man arc reactor right there and it just glow. It's like it's powering the units. That would be kind of cool. We are getting some more shelving for the bottom down there. So just bear with us with a little bit of unkemptness and all of our filament that has not fit up on the racks yet. I still haven't found a home for that yet. But uh, we do a lot of printing because we do art fairs and that cool stuff. We don't have a fair until May, but we're getting prepped for it. Uh, if you look over there to the right, you'll see the last Centauri carbon to the right of that and to the left of the tablet. That is where our Snapmaker U1 is going to live. Ideally, I might have to lower that shelf down a rung. I don't know how tall the Snapmaker U1 is. If one of you guys have the unit already and you could send me that measurement for the height and width and depth, that'd be great. Uh, I know it's on the Snapmaker website, but I have a hard time sometimes with the accuracy of those measurements. Sometimes, units can be slightly bigger, slightly smaller. Uh, so having that information would be super helpful. So, but, and then back to what I was saying, we are developing another area, a couple of areas here. Um, One, we're going to be doing an area called Sector 7, which is going to be anywhere of our new products that are coming in that, people want us to test, and do a review on. That's where we're going to put those. We don't want to put them into our actual production areas until they're proven, and we know that they work and that We don't want them to be constantly viewed and seen by our audience because uh, we want the things that you see to know that they work. So the other area that I was going to talk to you guys that was upcoming, I don't know when it'll happen, but it's going to happen. We're going to have the cat cave. We're going to build a little area to where during intermissions I'll have a little cat camera that you guys can see where if there's any cats that are lounging in their little sleep areas, then that'll be a thing that you guys can see during the intermission. So those are a couple things that we're doing. Just making it fun to vibe here on Print and Pretzels. We really enjoy just hanging out with our audience, with you guys, answering questions. If you have questions about your printers, if you're struggling with anything, uh, odds are we've been there too. And if we can't get you an answer right away, we will do the research and find out an answer, or at the very, very bare minimum, point you in the right direction and get you back on your 3D printing journey. We just enjoy hanging out here, I almost said drinking our pretzels and eating our ice water. Drinking our ice water and eating our pretzels. Um, oh, David, thank you. Thank you. About 28 inches tall and 22 inches wide in depth with tubing. So let me grab my tape measure here, and I'll head on over to the Alpha Centauri. I think my tape measure is here in the toolbox somewhere. I had it earlier. Maybe it's over here already. Yep. So 28 inches tall. Oh, oh no. So go ahead with the build plate out of the way. Not that that's going to make that much of a difference. So 28 inches tall. That's going to be, ironically, I could not have planned that. 28 inches tall is right at the bottom of the filament rack. So from this rubber mat, rubber paper, that's what it is. If you guys have ever watched Uncle Jesse, that's a thing he came up with. And I use it. It's shout out to him. It helps with vibrations. So without that, it's 29 inches. So we've got 1 inch of clearance. That's that's insane. Are you guys seeing me on camera here, or did my camera turn off? It looks like you guys are not seeing me on camera. That's interesting. Let's see if I can't fix that. Sorry, you guys are seeing me swap through the cameras real quick. Put that back to the E-Meet cam. Let's go. Hmm. There we go. Now let's see if it. I walked over there and you guys didn't even see me. I wonder if the camera just turned off. Timed out. Hey, there you guys are. So yeah, let's try that again. So 28 inches with the rubber paver is at the bottom of legitimately right at the bottom of the filament rack. 29 inches without the rubber paver, which gives us that inch of clearance. So I may have to drop the shelf down one more. I might not. I don't know. We'll see when the E1 gets here. I'll assemble it on the workbench over here. But I appreciate those measurements, David. Those are very helpful. So, yeah, now you guys can see the printers moving. I don't know. The camera must have timed out. That's weird. Now, if you add the enclosure when it comes out, it will need, I'm sure, a couple of more inches. So the beauty about the B-roll shelving that you see is that those shelves can move down. Uh, Let me switch you guys over to this side. So each one of these shelves are about 8 inches apart. So every rung I go down gives me an extra 8 inches of clearance. So I might do that. I don't know how big the enclosure is. I did order for RU1 the enclosure kit that you can assemble. You get a 3D print the frame, but they send you the acrylic. Just because with our furry management here, they I don't need them accidentally going into the enclosure or a partially enclosed machine. I will also have to it's hard to see it, but there's PTFE tube coupling or not coupling protectors on the A1 Mini and A1, and I'll have to put some of those on the uh, Snapmaker U1 when it gets here because don't ask me why. Our quality control team likes to check the PTFE tube with their mouth. I've seen some PTFE tube with some bite marks in it. So that's what we got going on. So, I'll drop it in the chat. Are you guys digging the new overlays and the new like studio layout vibe? Never thought I would have fun fidgeting with a pair. All right, we got one more of these to put in here. Thanks, David. I appreciate that. I if you guys are out there ever just cruising Maker World and you see some files that you think would look cool in the studio on either side, Alpha Centauri or Bambu Sanctum, let me know. I definitely want more eyes are better than just the two I have. All right, so the next piece is this one. David, I know you're late to the live, or not late to live stream, but you came in a little later. Um, I'm troubleshooting with Frozen right now about that firmware Arco update. So over the course of the past week, they've emailed me. They sent me like an in-depth firmware update. That didn't work. So it's looking like their engineers are going to have to um, remote into my machine and get it working because it's not accepting any firmware updates. It says the update successful when you restart the machine, even though it just sits there and doesn't update. But the update doesn't change numbers. It stays at 1.63. So that is where I'm at with that. I'm kind of bummed too because at this point, the Snapmaker U1 is going to get here, and I really wanted to print a giant multicolored pretzel on the Arco. I probably still will, but I was hoping we would do it before the Snapmaker gets here. I'm really regretting not getting that double bundle for the Snapmaker U1. I should have pulled the trigger on that, and I didn't. But it is what it is. Um, that that price point would have it wanted. I think it wanted to be in like $700 if per machine if you got that early bird double bundle. So, but that's the trade-off. You know, when the printers first come out, you don't know how good they're going to be. A lot of the Kickstarter printers. I mean, what was it? The what printer was it that came out? AnchorMake. The AnchorMake printer never really came to fruition. So that's the danger of Kickstarter. But if I remember correctly, Snapmaker, I mean, they were showing that they already had the models in the pre-production phase. So that was a relief. At least they're dang, at least they're willing to remote in. At that point, yeah, I would hope that they would. Because what else is there to do? I mean, I don't know if I can use my Arco multicolor at 1.63. Can you? I don't. I guess I could try, but I don't want to break anything. But I can tell you that the chroma kit powers up, or not chroma kit, but the yeah, chroma kit. The chroma kit powers up and it dries. So I don't know what's going on with that. Send me a new printer. Yes, I would very much appreciate a new printer. Because mine's not working. It's very disheartening. And I'm excited for those other two items that I have coming from Frozen though. So like getting getting my machine fixed would be ideal. There was one other, if you look at the Frozen community forum on Facebook, it looks like there was one other user that had the same issue. It, like, does the firmware update and it doesn't go through. I am curious on why, we might not ever know the answer to this question, but why Frozen's R&D department didn't do over-the-air updates like every other machine I have does. Um, I'm sure there was a reason, I just don't know it. I'm not like affiliated with Frozen or anything, but I do appreciate their machine when I had it running. This is so sad. Out of all these fidgets that I brought out tonight, this is definitely the most satisfying one to assemble. Um, Not the quickest to assemble, but the most satisfying too. Because as you're assembling it, you get to click it. Yeah, if they don't remote in, I might talk to them about that, David, on what options there are for getting a printer that I can still use. Because this was um, it's been a couple weeks now that I haven't been able to use it. I love printing on that thing too because uh, a few weeks back I printed, actually it was a couple months ago now, I printed the Lion's Thor hammer that I had up in the back, and that thing I had to print the handle on it on the Frozen Arco because I wanted the handle to be bigger to match the size that the maximum volume that I could print the hammer head on the P1S. So I wanted to be in like 300% size, or no, 130% size head that you could fit on the build plate. And in order to get the full size of the handle to match it, it wouldn't fit on the P1S. You have to do it on a bigger printer that is at least I think it's like 290 millimeters tall. Oh, best fidget ever to assemble. The only downside of it is it takes so many fidget clickers or keyboard clickers. I don't know if you guys have checked this out on Facebook or not, but part of the new like stream overlays that we have going on the channel here are anyone that likes and follows us on Facebook. That like and follow will pop up on Streamlabs OBS here. Anyone that drops a tip in the chat, well, that'll happen. New subscribers to the channel, that'll make it happen too. All sorts of cool little things. Hopefully, I've got them excuse me, ironed out. Riley, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. We're getting some fidget clickers assembled here. This this one didn't go in quite straight as I wanted it to. There it goes. Put that down in there. We got Fidget Farm veggies and fruit. We got Fidget Flexies going through the live stream tonight. We got Fidget Swords going through the live stream tonight because this thing's freaking awesome. And then also we got our accidental hamburger. Looks like it's got ketchup and mustard on the inside, and it's got one layer of blue. So maybe somebody put some blue cheese on there inside of their burger. And then finally the Pokeball that is just so fun to assemble and click. Well, I appreciate that. That'll help out the watch hours, Riley. I really, really appreciate that. Those watch hours is what we're garnering towards. Right now, I think we're at, for the last 365 days, we're at that close to 1,200 watch hours. We need to get to 3,000 to get the next level of YouTube unlocked. We got the subscriber mark. Now we're just getting out there. We'll have another video coming out probably later this week about that IBOS Tetris heater. And then after that will be the next IKEA video that we're working on. We're doing some power upgrades for IKEA and the SCOTUS system. I got a ton of footage that I filmed doing all the upgrades of the panels. So I'll probably use that as some of the B-roll footage on those videos. I'm probably going to go back through and print some of the cable not connectors, but cable guides for the SCOTUS panel. I'm going to print them in the same colors I'm printing the Bambu tubes. So looks like that other printer stopped too. Wonder why. I'll look in a little bit. Get this last Pokeball, or not last, but last one assembled for. Can you use the files? What do you mean by can you use the files? Like any of the ones that I listed in the chat? Yeah, they're out on Maker World. You're absolutely allowed to print them. Now, if you're going to sell them, you have to have a commercial license like we do for 3DP Mom and Cinder Wings 3D. You have to have the commercial license in order, and it supports the artist. It's the right thing to do. Um, it it's important to support them if you're going to sell them commercially, or art fairs or wherever you're going to sell your stuff at. But if you're just printing them for yourself at home, or if you gifts for your family, absolutely print away. I really like how well designed the front button piece is for this Pokeball because it like that it just slides in there like a glove. It was like effortless. And I didn't have to do any of the supports on there. They already came pre-supported. And it's only for the outside panels, and they just require supports because of the connector piece that goes to the Fidget clicker. They printed so well in Sunlu filament. All this is Sunlu. If you guys shop Sunlu, you can use our code BeGlorious to get a little bit of a discount for your Sunlu filaments. And any of their products, like their 3D pen or their AMS heater, you can look at our videos and get a link, direct link to that, and that helps out the channel too. Oh, you just make them for your fam? Good, good. You're gonna be the 3D Santa Claus. Yeah, I just do that commercial license disclaimer because we have a big audience and I want to make sure everyone knows that commercial licenses are a thing. So if you're going to print these wonderful doohickeys out, like we do here in the Gadget Grotto, we support the artists that we sell things of. I love Cinderwink 3D's stuff. She drops it's like 3 or 4 files a month. Excuse me. And before the week is out, after she dropped it out, I've already got her stuff printed out. So her stuff's great. She's gonna be the one that I print the cherry blossom dragon and the bamboo dragon. So gonna get this last fidget clicker assembled here. Do you know what I should print? And also, can you excuse me, show how to make stuff on Orca Slicer, please? Yes, I can do that next week, Riley, as our live stream is coming to an end here tonight. But I can definitely show you how to do some stuff on Orca Slicer next week if you want to do that. I would be happy to. So, um, as far as uh, what you would like to make, if you want to find maybe a file or two for next week and bring it to next week's Print and Pretzels and drop it in the chat while we're doing it, we can definitely take a look at it. I would stay away from anything that requires supports for like first beginning printers if that's where you're at. Um, and we can find things together for sure. Um, when I first started 3D printing, I mean there was a plethora of things to print, but the hardest thing for me to learn was like how to do supports. And uh, at some point in time here, when I'm done recording the content that that I have to, but that I have already scheduled, I'm probably gonna do like a beginner series for like what is PLA, what are the different build plates, what are you use them for? I mean, just doing things like that and creating a playlist here on YouTube for that kind of thing, just because I want to be able to support people whether they're in their intermediate journeys in 3D printing, whether they're beginning, wherever you're at, I would want you guys to be able to feel like there's information on our channel for you all. David had a guy at work got his first printer and he asked why it was just printing a mess. I asked him to send me the file. It was a plane that needed supports and didn't know what they were. That I agree, David. I think that is where it's gonna be at here in the next few years. 3D printing is gonna be so accessible to everyone. I think of it as like, was it the early 90s when home printers first started coming out? They were kind of expensive, and you know, no, you still a lot of people still print out the office and then take it home. Then eventually printers got cheap enough to where everybody could have one in the house. Some people have multiple printers in their house. So I think that's where the 3D printing world is going to be at. Right now, I mean, you just saw it with the Creality printer. I mean, it's like $200 and you have a printer in your house. So, but learning how to use the device is a whole different thing. The affordability is there, and now it's learning how to use it. There we go. Oh, this is great. I love this fidget clicker. I am not Australian. I am from the United States. That's awesome. Are you watching from Australia? Or are you um, native Australian? As in you're in another country but from Australia. Oh, you are watching from Australia. Thank you for tuning in from Australia. That's awesome. That's a world away. I don't know what time it is there, but it is 9:30 p.m. here. Oh, this is so. I'm gonna have to print the Great Ball and Master Ball, or Great Ball and Ultra Ball now. It's one there. Wow. Someday I want to go see Australia and New Zealand. That would be my ideal places to visit. That part of the world. I've never been there. So, but if you guys haven't, hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. Get those watch hours out for us. If you check out our other videos, you'll get to see our growth journey that we've had since we started, not necessarily 3D printing, but starting attending here on YouTube. We really have fun, or I have really, especially really have fun doing all this for you guys. It's such a blast to do this every week, and then putting out those long form videos to be able to help people out there that are in the new 3D printing space. So if you hit that like button, that helps the YouTube algorithm know that this is a content for people out there that are in the 3D printing world. And I'm super excited for what we got coming next. Not only Print Pretzels, but uh, our long form videos and our craft fair stuff. It's just all of it's coming together so well. I think 2026 is going to be our year for sure. And I really want to thank you guys all for attending the live stream tonight. And I'll see you in the next one. Be glorious.